friends, Sandra here and welcome back to another Project Life Process video and welcome to my channel, Stars and Palm. So take a seat and grab a coffee and enjoy another Project Life Process video. I try to somewhat fast forward these a little bit but not too much that you guys miss out on what I'm doing. As always, I just kind of try to figure out where my pictures are going to go on the cards because that's usually what takes me the longest in all honesty. And this is actually like my fourth attempt trying to record a voiceover every time either a dog barks or I hear someone loud in the background or I'm sitting on a leather chair and I move around in it and then it sounds like I tooted on my video when in all reality it's just me moving. So yeah, it's been quite an experience. I'd love to know how moms record voiceovers. So for this first card, I'm just putting this little banner that I actually had in my stash for quite a while. And yeah, see, there you go, another noise. But sorry about that, guys. Yeah, I had that in my stash for quite a while and I really liked it, so I thought this was the moment to use it. It's just like a leftover from something I was watercoloring that I ended up cutting out, and I thought it was actually perfect for this card because it had all three colors that I was kind of using in the layout. And that little flare badge is from my Creative Retreat kit. I'm using all the items that I had left over from the last layout that I did using my Creative Retreat kit, so I'm just using it on this one. And I'm using a little Zot glue dot to glue that down because it's like the best type of glue that I found to get your flare down. I feel like it holds it the best. And as always, I will link everything that I use in the description box below, so in case you're wondering, and whatever's not linked there either is no longer available or, you know, all that kind of good stuff. And yeah, so just to let you guys know, and you can always ask me a question if you have one about it. So I decided to stamp out a bunch of these little labels that came in that stamp set from this month, just because I knew I was going to end up wanting to use this throughout my layout, so I really wanted to get a few of them stamped out just because I never know how much I'm going to end up wanting to use, and I would rather only have to clean my stamp once because I'm a little lazy like that. So I was just like, let me just do a few and just in case. So I just fussy cut that out using my Cutter Bee scissors, which are like thebomb.com. And then I had that washi that was left over from like 2 kits ago that I was really trying to use up. And then I'm just going to glue that down. And I'm just attempting to create basically a cluster on this edge of this card. This is not exactly a title card because I usually do my title cards on the right of my layout, and this is going to be the left side of that layout. So it's definitely going to be matching that last layout that I did, and if you haven't watched it, I'll try to remember to link my last Project Life video in the description box below. But basically, it's kind of matching that one. So I kind of wanted to create like a cohesiveness as far as colors goes and everything like that. And I'm adding another gold heart too because I have little bits of gold throughout this layout. And then those are like my almost all-time favorite puffy stickers ever, which I think everyone should pretty much own some of. And I know I'm going to end up having to order another pack of these because I'm already going through them quite quickly in my opinion. And I just love them because they look really doodly. Can't talk today, guys. I'm sorry. They look really doodly, and it reminds me of some of the stuff that I do when I write my own handwriting, so I just thought it would be really fun to use those, and I did use them in my last layout, so I figured I would add them on another card, and this card ended up being the perfect card to do that with, because I decided to do like a little currently card, which I think is adorable. Yeah, I was happy about that. And then I decided to kind of just put like currently reading, currently watching kind of thing because I thought it would just be fun to kind of document what I'm into that month. I decided that would be a fun thing to do for my layouts is maybe just document whatever it is that I'm into that month. Even though sometimes it's several things, I figured I would only put 1 or 2 things and then just go from there because I can always add to the next month whatever it is. And I think this is a really fun thing to do, especially if you sometimes don't take as much pictures and you want to have a filler card. I didn't do that because I needed a filler card. I just thought it would be cool, but I'm just saying for if anyone does have that problem, because I've had that problem in the past, if I don't have that many pictures for that current month, I always like to kind of find a creative way to kind of just add things. And right now I'm just adding some sequins to this card. I'm using my little Tombow Monomulti adhesive and some sequins I had in my stash to just kind of add a little pop of color. Sequins are like the new enamel dots. I'm just joking. No one beats enamel dots. But basically, I'm kind of replacing enamel dots with sequins a little bit lately because I feel like I was using enamel dots a lot. So I like to kind of change it up every once in a while so that my layouts kind of have different elements going on. And yeah, let your sequins dry before you put your card in the pocket. Tip there. And now I'm using this arrow for this card specifically because I wanted to create a pattern kind of like I did on my last layout to have this card kind of be matching in it, and I'm just stamping off because I want a lighter color than the one I'm getting with that. It's just like a little too bright, if that makes sense. So this is a way of toning it down. And I do have several different colors of yellow from different manufacturers, but I just didn't feel like looking around in my stash, so I just figured this was a way of creating this effect without having to kind of dig around, if that makes sense. And I am going to do a full review on the different types of inks that I use and different things that I use, because I know a lot of people have been interested in seeing that, whether it's for project life or even for planning. So I will be doing that soon, you guys. I know I need to get around to it because I've been saying I'm going to do that, but I actually will be doing that soon. And I really like this little arrow. I think everyone should have a nice arrow stamp in their stash for project life. And if you're like me and you're obsessed with stamps, then you should have several arrow stamps. And this picture is basically like my throwback Thursday picture in my layout, because I got that ring when I was 13 from my parents when I turned 13, and I thought that would just be a fun little picture to throw in there because every time I wear it, it just makes me happy and makes me think of my mom and dad. And also the fact that it has like a Victorian feel to it. I love things that are like vintagey and Victorian looking, so I thought it'd be cool to add that in there. And that little tab is the one you guys saw me struggling trying to use last layout, and I was like, I'm doing it. It's happening. I'm fitting it into this layout somehow. Which sometimes I like to challenge myself to do that, because then I use it in ways that I wouldn't not have used it if I hadn't challenged myself, if that makes sense. So I decided I wanted to do kind of like a little side layout embellishment thing going on there, and I actually really love the way that looks. And it's a way of making me kind of do things differently. And I also wanted to use some more of those Notes and Things stickers that I've had in my stash forever that I'm kind of like trying to just use up, because I had like 2 packs of those. And I knew I wanted to use Happy Day sticker because it had that little accent of gold that I have going throughout my layout. So I just cut that down and turned it into like a little strip because I thought it would be fun to do that. And then I decided I needed a little something more on this card to balance it out. So I added a little scrap piece of mint vellum that I had from the last layout basically, and added it to this one. And then I'm just adding some little staples to give more of a little gold touch there. And usually whenever I'm doing this, you guys, I try to, like, if I do a layout and I know I'm going to be doing a second layout, but not right away, I try to keep all the things together in one area, like in a little basket. That way I can just reuse everything that I used without having to search for it again, if that makes sense. That's kind of like my process now that I've started to do recently, because it's just kind of annoying to have to like take everything back out again because you're only doing one half of a layout and maybe doing the next the other day or whatever. And then I just decided to add some journaling to this card to basically write down the memory that has to do with that, and I thought it would look nice in hot pink. And if I wasn't lazy, I may have pulled out my typewriter for this, but I just was like, it was late at night and I was just not gonna do that at that moment. So, but I really like the way that card turned out, and I really loved having that picture there. And then for the next card that says the little things, I knew I was going to keep that simple because I really love that card all on its own, really. I didn't feel like it needed much, so I pulled out one of the felt hearts from my stash, which I actually die cut myself, and I knew I was going to staple that, but I do end up changing where I staple it. I end up pulling up the staple, as you can see, and I just put it on the side. And then I use my Sharpie fine point to just go around that and add some detailing. And I will link the dies and things that I use for that kind of stuff. I usually do that off camera because if not, the video would be like insanely long. But yeah, that's pretty much what I did with that card. And usually I try to keep one card a little bit more simple. If I have other cards that I feel like have a lot going on, I try to really keep my layout balanced, if that makes sense. At least to what looks balanced to me, because what may be balanced to me might not be balanced to you, you know? I know that I'm not on the simple side compared to other project lifers I've seen, but that's not really my style. I generally like to have something simple, but I really love to add things and just make it funky in me. So I had that little cut apart that I cut out from a 3x4 card, and yeah, guys, I'm hangry lately. Sometimes I feel like it's hard to think because I'm just like dreaming about food. Does that happen to you guys when you're on a diet? Like you think more about food than you normally do when you're not, if that makes sense. But yeah, I just decided to basically add some Heidi Shine. uh, if you guys know who that's a nod to, then let me know. Fist pump. But yeah, I thought that would look cute on there and add a little mixed media element, and I just really love the way that that looks. And basically I had an idea for this card, but it kind of changed as what I originally thought I was going to. That's why I say I usually do these layouts by the seat of my pants. I kind of just wing it and see what looks nice to me. And I knew I wanted to add some sort of flower element because I had it in my other layout, so I didn't want to have like nothing that had a flower on it on this one. Then I added some washi tape to that corner where I'm also creating another little cluster, and then I knew I wanted to use another label, so I added 2 staples on the side, and then decided I wanted to put it there. And then I realized that I probably need some foam to keep that propped up, and it wouldn't be a layout of mine if I didn't use some foam, right? Since you guys know how obsessed I am with adding dimensions to things, so... And plus it would have dipped and it would have bothered me, so I just decided to add that and just use the point of my scissors to get that little piece off, because I had no patience for trying to pull that off at that moment. And then I'm adding some more tiny word stickers, which also came in the Creative Retreat kit, so I'm just kind of like trying to use up a bunch of these because A, I love them and they have gold in them, so yeah, enough said. And yeah, they're just really cute and I thought they'd tie together my layout, so I put this and that. And also, in case you just want to get some tiny word stickers, I will also link those because they're amazing and I love tiny word stickers, as you guys know, so yeah. No excuse to really use them, pretty much. And then I decided I wanted to use some more sequins, so I wanted to use this little baggie I had in my stash to just add some random sequins there. And really, you guys, I wish I could have a wall full of little tiny jars full of sequins, especially after I watched one of my YouTube friend videos on here, which is Liz, and she went to a craft store in, I believe was it Portland? Or am I making that up? I think it was Portland, and it had a wall of sequins in it. I seriously wish I could just travel around to craft stores and buy things. I'm sure a lot of you guys feel that way, especially internationals. I know that a lot of you guys tell me that you guys don't have as much stuff in like the UK or different areas, and I wish I could like bring a little caravan so you guys could have a bunch of stuff we have here, because I don't know why, but I always assumed that the UK had as much stuff as we had as far as crafting stuff goes, because I figured you guys had a lot of crafters over there, so I don't know, I think it's weird that there's not more things there. I think maybe some of these companies need to get on their game and give you guys more stuff to have for crafting or something. I don't know, because I think I would be pretty like upset if I had to order online all the time, even though I do like to order online, but it would be nice to have more local stores, which, believe it or not, we don't have that many local stores here in the US, at least not in the area that I'm living in Arizona, so don't think I'm that, that lucky. Thank God for online stores, that's all I have to say. That's why I always link them, because I do buy a lot of things online. And then this card, which you guys remember, was my epic fail, and believe it or not, I actually was kind of happy that happened, because I've always wanted to make an epic fail card, and this was kind of perfect for that. If you guys follow me on Instagram, then you saw this picture before, and basically were all encouraging me to probably use that in Project Life, so I thought that was pretty fun to do, and I just wanted to keep it simple but cute at the same time. And if you guys aren't following me, just so you know, I always leave my social media links in the description box below, where I usually post all kinds of things on there during the week whenever there's not videos, so it's kind of a good way to get your fix in. And yeah, that card is pretty much done. Kept it pretty simple, and I love that card with like the pink and like that minty color, so it really didn't need that much. And then for that one card, honestly, I'm just going to round the corners and keep it simple. I used the app that I have on my phone, which I can't remember what it's called right now. I think it's called Pick Stitch, I believe, and I just added the word beautiful to that through there, and I'm just going to be corner rounding that one as well. I could have probably added something to these cards, but I really wanted to keep them on the simpler side. I felt like this layout had a lot going on to me, so I just wanted to keep the 4x6 cards just a little bit more simple and stuff like that. So then for this card, I actually just went ahead and mounted these 2 photos onto some gold paper so that they would have like a gold frame going around them. And I also printed those out on my phone, and basically I made another boba run, you guys. But that was like a few weeks ago, so I didn't horribly cheat on me trying to eat healthy, but someone told me that boba drinks, they use like condensed milk or I don't know, something really sugary, and it made me so sad. I probably should have assumed that from the get-go, but I was kind of trying to live in denial. It's not just a river in Egypt. But anyway, I still love boba. It's just one of those things where I maybe can't have it as often. And I had to refill, of course, my little sticker dude here in the middle of it, or my little tape runner. I just wanted to show you guys how easy it is to basically refill it once you have it on there. And you just want to make sure it's in place, and then after that you just start running it on paper till it starts tightening up the little piece tape, and then it's ready to go once you see adhesives coming out. So I love this thing. The simpler the better. I used to like have to watch a video just to refill my large pink scotch runner, so I'm like, if you have to watch a video to reload something, it should be a little simpler than that, in my opinion. And then I just stamped out that yellow label that I'm writing on, and that's actually from a stamp from the Take 10 kit. It didn't come with the kit, I think it was just one of the extras, and I got it sent to me by the owner, and it was really cute stamp, so I thought it would be great to use as a label in Project Life. And yeah, that's pretty much what I did there. Just wrote a little note there, and then I die cut that little file tab, and the punch that I used for that was just a Jenny Bolin punch that's retired now, so I'll see if I can find any other one that I could possibly link for you guys. But yeah, that one was limited edition, which I don't know why they do that if there's a high demand, but whatever. So I just stapled that down and added some sequins, and basically I was keeping that card pretty simple. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed this layout. I'm sorry if I was super rambly and ridiculous in this video, but I've been trying to get this done for you guys forever, and something always happens, so I just figured, you know what, I'm just gonna do it, record it, and whatever happens, happens, and yeah. So I basically just did that, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, I will have pictures in the end of this video. If you want to follow me on social media, go ahead and look in the description box below where everything is linked, as well as all the products. And as always, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate all your sweet comments and support, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye!